Somebody.
Alrighty.
Since I'm walking back.
Welcome back to another week of Militia Uncut. As you can see, we are all together again, finally. Thank God.
In attendance, all present.
This is B, K, D, and C. And our first guest. Oh, we didn't discuss that. T.
Welcome to the show.
Let's
T.
just call her T.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
In honor of Women's Month, History Month, or whatever, all our guests this month are going to be ladies. So, our first guest is
We don't do sexism over here.
my lovely older sister. So, let's get to it. Before we start anything, as always, press the subscribe button, to follow us. And
Hit that like button.
if and when we do have that Patreon link, get with it. So, here we go.
So, K's new name is Patreon K, by the way. You feel me?
I own that with pride.
He's pushing the Patreon.
Thank you.
It's gonna be so funny because
Nice and
they're still gonna be like, there's no link yet.
We killed the bottle already? Yo, we killed these bottles.
But we did that last time, remember? Between the 5 of us last time,
Right.
we finished.
This is delicious.
Alright, so we're gonna put
It's
we're gonna
awesome,
put this
isn't it?
right here. And
Come
then,
on.
That is
Is it
absolutely
alcohol or
delicious.
what is this?
This is supposed to be sangria.
Sangria.
And it's sangria.
If y'all ever see this bottle right here, get it.
Fire.
It's worth it. It's worth the $14 that it's worth.
Yeah.
That it is.
Oh, it's delicious.
Take out a little
So-
All
slushy.
right. Anyway, I got a
Who wants to
question
start
for
off?
you boys today. Something I've been thinking about in my, personal life.
Okay.
Sometimes things come back to haunt you or whatever. How do you handle that? Like, you ever have any regrets? And if so,
Ooh.
like, what was your biggest regret?
I have two biggest regrets.
We got two biggest regrets. Let's
Yeah.
start us off.
All right. Well, I don't want to make it too heavy-handed, but my biggest regret in my life is that I didn't speak to my aunt before she died, and it messed me up.
Come on, dude.
No. I had my aunt Yvonne when I was 8 years old. She was very sick, and mom had called grandma's house from the hospital, and she was just like, "Yeah, Aunt Yvonne is sick, da 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 da." And at the time I was 8, so mom wasn't gonna go into detail about how serious it was. So I didn't think it was that serious. And she was just like, "Do you want to say anything to Auntie?" And I was like, "Nah, she's sick, she chilling, she resting. Just tell us hi, I'll talk to her another time." And then I never got to. So it was just like, and for a long time, I really blamed myself. Like I felt bad, and I was like, what if I had talked to her, she might have, and it's like, I can't put that on me because she was sick. But I used to think as a kid, like, man, if I had just said something to her on the phone, maybe she might have been in a better spirit, and maybe it might not have happened when it did. Like I didn't know. So that was my biggest regret. So every time anybody is in that place, you never know. So I try to make sure you say everything that you can say if you got the time to say it. So that's my biggest regret. But like I said, didn't mean to make it so heavy-handed right from the jump. But
Yeah, we starting off heavy.
that is my biggest regret.
I don't think B was expecting that, was you?
No. But I mean,
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah.
That's not where I was going with it. But
I was
I'm
talking
saying-
about you in the club or some shit.
I know. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Change it up. Bring it
Militia Uncut though. You
Alright,
gotta get real.
Yeah, I'm the deep one of the group. So
Alright.
Well, my biggest regret is also heavy. I'm gonna make it less heavy than that, so let me go next, so then y'all can lighten it up after. Very quick. My biggest regret was not being in New York when one of my friends got shot. That was it. I just wish I was there. Because he was coming to see me, but I wasn't there, so he ended up getting shot.
Yeah.
It's my biggest regret. I wish I was here. He might not have got shot. Or we might have left that area.
right.
So that's crazy.
It's not as heavy. It's heavy, but
It's still pretty heavy. I mean, people dying. Death is heavy.
Yes, it is.
Oh man.
Lighten it up for us. Bro.
Lighten us. I don't know if it's gonna be much lighter. I'll tell you that.
Well, what happened to you?
This is
I have
depressing.
where are we going with this?
Wait,
Just
B.
being real.
So
Just
it was
being
like
real.
it was two questions or what? I know you said what was your biggest regret,
you said
but I thought it
two
was like a
biggest
follow
ones.
up.
Like
It
when
was
stuff
like-
comes back to haunt you.
Like what happens when stuff comes back to haunt you?
Oh, okay. You get like PTSD from your experience.
PTSD.
You could drink sangria.
I
It's
think
not strong enough. It's not strong enough for certain people.
I would say like a hard.
I think I have a
liquor.
PTSD, but that's such a sensitive topic. Like I can't just say that I have it. You know what I mean? But
Can we ask on what?
well, it's gonna be a segue into something. So
All right,
we'll
let
say
me slow it down.
Yeah,
Slow
say
it
yours
down.
first, and then I'm gonna segue into it. Yep.
Well,
got your
I'll say
biggest
mine and
regrets?
then I'll let the lovely young guest say hers. Or should
gave
I
you time to
let the
think
guest?
about it.
No, go ahead.
I mean, my biggest regret. Shit.
It's hard, right?
Nah, to be honest with you, I'm kind of a wild ass nigga, so
Yeah, I know,
don't
it's
have-
hard
I
to
try
pick
not to
one.
have that many big regrets. I mean, maybe
I got one.
I have
for
a
you.
couple, but
I
I'm
got
not
one
gonna
for
say
you.
I'm not gonna say the biggest one. Or the biggest ones.
You want to go? Or you got
Definitely.
I'll probably
But I
say
don't wanna talk about it.
just continuing in basketball. That's really it.
All right, I can
That's
see
it.
that,
That's all.
yeah.
And having more of a level head at the time. That's all. Because attitudes will get in the way of certain things. So.
I should have majored in math in college.
Did you already go?
No, I didn't
Oh,
go.
I thought you went already. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, B?
Yeah, I wasted so much time and money and effort in psychology, and I should have just did math.
That's the
I'm
exact,
good.
no, but that's the
Look at you,
exact
look.
opposite for me because I started with math and science and went to psychology. I
Yeah.
should have just went straight to psychology.
So much
It's
wasted.
the exact opposite. I feel him.
Yeah.
I should have just went straight to psychology.
Who finished theirs already?
Mine. I did.
Wait, hold on.
I feel like that.
Wait, hold on.
There's not that much.
I know there's not that much. I was trying to
So
save
reload.
it.
Yeah, I was
Trying
gonna
to
say like
savor it.
savor it, but then it was like shot.
I know.
Fuck.
Okay, so my biggest regret.
You
So I used to live in
November,
Washington.
another one.
I used to live in Washington, where if y'all don't know, cannabis is legal. So
The state Washington.
Yeah, the
not
state,
DC.
not-
Well, DC is legal in DC too.
yeah, but this was like
Just to be
a
specific.
little bit more back. So anyway, so I was out there when it was legal and everything like that, and I was already high, and I wanted to go on a snack run. And where does Young T go for her snack run? The dispensary. And guess what kind of snacks they had? Edibles. So
Oh,
me being high.
That wasn't great.
Me being high, I didn't inquire as to what the snacks was, what it had in them. I was just like, yo, let me get some cookies and some this and some that, and I want the juice and everything that was like infused that you could think of. So I took it all home, right? I'm like, yo, this is lit. The dispensary has snacks too.
Oh my
dumbass.
God.
So like, I kind of like opened it up, popped them all in the bowl, and I'm watching Chopped. And
Of course you are.
and
Of course,
Of
yeah.
course.
and I ate like half of one cookie, all of a bunch of like edible gummies. I drank 2
I was hoping this.
infused shots that was like 16 ounces of like drink in there or whatever. So anyway, I was pretty fucked up, right?
Mhm.
So it didn't obviously hit right away, and I didn't feel it when it was coming on. But as far as like what do you do when you have regret, like let me tell you something about regrets when you're so high that you see like heaven. Like
Oh no.
I've been there. I have been there.
like
I've been there.
I was so fucking high. I didn't feel it coming on, like I said. So when it was coming on, I was like,
You still got
"Yo, are y'all high?"
Savor.
Mind you, y'all was my dog and like my best friend who was on her way home. So she was like, "No, I'm not high." She was like, "But if you high, you can just turn on the AC. You good?" So she goes home, right? And it's just me and my dog. And my dog is concerned. She's like crying on my feet and everything. She can tell something is wrong.
My dog.
And you know, it took me 20 minutes to realize that I was leaned over like this.
Yo,
Like,
like that
because-
sometimes.
At some point when my friend was leaving, I went to pet Evie, but then I forgot what I was doing, and I segued off somewhere, and then I came back, and I'm like, oh, I'm like crackhead leaning over my dog and shit, and Chopped is still on, and then my immediate thought was, let me make a pizza. That would sound good. What was on Chopped? Curry. Anyway, so I went to my fridge.
Curry pizza.
And I slapped together some like flour and some tomato sauce, which was actually ketchup and not tomato sauce. And even though you know it's a technicality, but whatever. Anyway, things got fucking weird, yo.
They got fucking weird.
So what do you do when you have regrets? I woke up in the tub.
Goddamn.
You sound like you woke
But
up
I
in
woke
the tub
up.
with ice and a liver missing. That's why I thought this was going.
Like a kidney missing.
Let me
Like,
find out.
it took my kidney.
She was in fetal position. Like, what just happened?
Just woke up. Is this a dream? Yeah, I've definitely been that high before. That it's not fun. That's the reason why I don't fuck with edibles anymore.
So yeah, that was me lighting it up. Things just got bad to worse.
I don't fuck with edibles
hilarious.
anymore.
I'm still not sure what happened to the pizza when I came out of the tub. By the way, just a little note: my kitchen was completely clean. So
Made ghost pizza.
yep. So yeah,
That's crazy.
It was all a dream.
I mean, I used to read Word Up magazine.
Something up in the limousine.
So we're gonna keep going with this,
Yeah.
okay?
Imagine if we really did the whole song,
Molly
but like,
on the wall.
but just in straight monotone voice, like every day is Mr. Magic
Nah.
Molly Ball.
Ah man.
All right, so you had your topic.
Yeah.
Does our
so-
young guest have a topic that she
No,
would
we
like
should-
to speak about?
We're supposed to have a topic ready for her to speak about.
I mean, we'll get to that. I have a topic for her.
All right.
We can
I mean,
see.
I kind of already led with like weed, but I guess I wanted to talk about like pot. And when I say like pot, I mean not smoking it, but kind of like how I've been thinking lately about how like big it is to get into the industry. Like now.
Oh, you're trying to make money from it.
Yeah.
I'm investing.
Talk to me off camera.
No.
In
I'm,
Philly?
look,
Talk to
I'm
me.
talking
Philly?
about. But listen.
Philly.
I'm talking about like as far as
Texas.
listen. I'm talking about like investments, and it's not just pot, like hemp. I'm talking about like starting dispensaries, legitimate stuff too. You know what I mean? Like
Whoa.
not to say.
I feel you.
Not to say.
I feel you.
I didn't know.
And yeah, like I would love to start like a restaurant / bakery, to be honest, and get people like effed up.
Yeah.
Can I curse? Effed up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fucked up.
But like,
On-
what secret recipes would you have? Like, well, not secret.
I
but,
mean,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It would be a
My
secret no
bad.
more. Like, goddamn, you trying to put me out of
Sorry.
business before I start? Like,
It is marijuana.
I mean, I would do cookies,
It
things,
is?
things like
Oh, she made it sound
red
like it
velvet,
It's,
cinnamons, like
That sounds good.
That sounds
Yeah.
good.
I would get like super creative with it.
Like, weed infused?
Yeah, everything infused. You would have like uninfused options, vegan options, that kind of stuff or whatever. Like, make sure it's kind of
That
like
sounds lit. I wanted some now. Like,
yeah. I'm saying.
I'm a fat nigga OD.
I mean, like I
This
could
has
probably
CBD
like
in it.
start making stuff,
The
but samples
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's-
See what you think. Kind of thing.
I would test all of them.
But that's the only thing. Like here, it's so hard to get like canna butter
80
and
cents.
whatever
Canna butter.
at times.
So, I mean, like,
But yeah,
Canna
you know,
butter
as
always
opposed to, let me tell you how lit Washington was. Like grocery shopping for weed is the best thing I've ever experienced. in my
she's
life.
shopping for
Yes,
weed.
I'm not even lying. You walk up in there, you just have to be 21. The narcs will stand there and watch you, and they can't do shit about it. Like I was really just like thinking I'm on an episode of Punk. The first time I fucking went to a dispensary, I was shook. I was like, I can have this. I can pay with this with my own money. Like, are you serious? Like,
With no card or
yeah.
anything.
And then the nigga's like, hey, I'm your bud tender. My name is Bud Tender. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I must look like,
Bud
yeah, Bud Tender. Yeah. I must have looked like so ignorant. But like, it was like so lit. I left there with like a huge bag of stuff. I didn't know what to do with
I
it.
want that, I want this.
Right.
What's that smell like?
Right.
But let me ask you, the prices is probably crazy.
No, the prices was popping because of the fact that it's like out there, everything is how you say like regulated. I guess you can say. So it's like everything's fair price. Then you have your discounts. It's like Taco Tuesday. So what we gonna do? We gonna slash prices on like damn near everything or whatever. Like you can get an ounce for like way less than you get out here. Let's just say that.
And
The
it's
lowest I've
fire,
ever paid
too.
for an ounce out there that was legitimate fire had little trichomes on the end. Like crystals and all that stuff. Like
yeah.
that sticky icky. $40.
Dead
For an
ass.
ounce, you lying.
No, I'm dead ass.
I believe
and
it.
that was around
I
420
believe
because they had it on sale.
I believe it. You wanna know
I
why?
believe it.
I'm gonna tell you right now why.
That
The
ass.
hustler in me just
No.
like
I'm
orgasm the little
I
thing.
know.
Like,
I'm
what? You know, running her around this?
I'm done. I'm gonna tell y'all right now the reason. I'm done.
Oh my god, I just did the math in my head. What the fuck? You're going to Washington.
I want to take a weekcation. I'm saying right now, Militia Uncut going on a weekcation to
Oh,
Washington,
shit.
so Brandon can get his mind blown because I'm
It's
dead ass.
legal. Yo.
Smoking it?
Relax.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I went to Amsterdam, so that was the first time I went to Amsterdam. I was
What were
like,
prices like out
Come
there?
back.
You had a ball.
Come back. Come back.
I mean, it was euros, so I wasn't really like
Well, I'm
doing the
just
math.
saying.
Come back.
Oh, you were okay.
It was
I
like
thought-
$15 for a gram or something like that, euros.
That's,
But it was
that's-
expensive. That's
But
expensive.
I mean, like I'm just saying, like out there, yeah.
That's
But
expensive.
okay, is it more expensive here or there? Like when you exchange money
Probably there.
there? Oh, okay, I didn't know
But
that.
like
I thought
that was like a
Europe.
touristy spot, so they
Yeah.
jack up the prices.
Yeah, of course.
Amsterdam was dope.
I was just thinking about that whole like
Chocolate?
value of dollar going down shit. So it's like how much?
Fucking Belgium, man.
How
We
much
had
is it?
fun there. Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, okay. So you were gonna say, D, why do you believe it? Why you do believe me?
Oh, the reason why I believe the price, like 400 for an ounce, is because
No, she
no,
said
No, I
40,
said 40.
40
She said
for an ounce.
40.
My bad.
Yeah.
Reason why I believe that is because in Cali, no, listen. In Cali, you could get over 448 grams, which is a pound, like 450 and some change in grams, for maybe $400 or $500 if you know the right person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a P. That's a pound. So you're 40 for the ounce. That kind of makes sense. Like.
And then again, it depends. You have so many, not so many, but you have the dispensaries that are there. So of course they're going to be in competition.
Yeah.
Everybody want to do,
Yeah.
get their customers in. So the more times you have these discounts, or whatever, and you're gonna make money.
And it's
'Cause
domestic.
yeah.
Everything's right there.
If they
Yeah.
know that your prices are like lower than your competitors, they're gonna be raking it in because everybody's gonna be coming in buying. from you.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
Study it.
Absolutely.
Supply and demand.
Or demand and supply.
Mm.
But I have a great topic that I want to talk about.
Alright.
Worst breakups.
Dun, dun, da-da.
Let's get a little spicy in here.
Words.
Why?
Worst breakups.
But why though?
Why?
Yeah.
Because worst breakups is spicy.
All right. Let's
That's
hear
what
it.
it's out there.
I said it like this. I had 2 bad breakups. I'll keep it 1,000 with you.
That's it.
I had no. This also goes into another topic that I had because my petty level, and I want to know everybody's petty level later on, right?
Okay.
Right? My petty level gets different sometimes.
Alright.
When you're a guy or a female, woman. When you're
Hold on,
a woman.
wait. Let me cut right there a little bit because like people are gonna be like, "Yo, what's wrong with saying female?" Saying
Backstory.
female is just weird. Like it's just fucking weird.
Alright,
Like
weird.
going by like, okay, we know like you talk about the gender and everything like that, but women don't go around being like, "Oh, these males. Guess what this male did to me?" or whatever. Like, "Oh, these males out here be like," it's just fucking weird. So like when you say
I'm working
females,
on
it's
it.
just like it sounds like other in a sense. Now, not to be like PC or anything like that. I'm just saying. So
Get into
yeah.
your feminist.
So women, as you were saying, bitches, which is gender neutral.
Whoa. Got you.
Bitches is gender is.
So is niggas.
Oh yeah,
And-
bitch knows no gender.
Got you.
Bitch is
So,
as bitch does.
I'll go first with one of my first breakups.
Okay.
Oh man.
Where do I even start with this one?
I can't wait to
Start from
That's
where
what
she
you
was
were
like,
saying.
fine, never speak to me again. And then
And you
go
was
from
like,
there.
"Fine, bitch." Click.
All right.
And then you call back. Click.
All right, we were supposed to go
You call
to
back,
my.
you stupid.
We were supposed to go to my high school dance.
Okay.
Some shit happened. We got into an argument. Already started paying for shit, so I was in my bag. You already started paying for stuff, suits, all that other bullshit.
Right.
You got to take it back, take shoes back, take the rental suit back,
Right.
all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Take the limo that you split with your man's bag, all that shit. I need my
right,
deposit
though.
back.
Take the
He's
limo
right there. I didn't
all
even
that.
go to my
It's
phone.
like,
He
all
right.
that.
Take the
So-
limo, bring it back.
So,
Give me the limo.
obviously it's a little extra when you got to do that. Some people start acting funny.
Right.
So, she was like, "Are you really going to do that?" I'm like, "You're acting retarded right now." I forgot what we started arguing about, right? She was like, "All right, if you're going to be that petty, fuck it. I don't want to be in a relationship no more." Fine. Me being the petty ass nigga that I am, pulled up to her crib, knocked on the door. I didn't even call her. Didn't tell her I was pulling up.
Was this like next day?
Told her mom,
Oh.
same day. Told her mom,
Told her mom.
I'm coming to get my stuff.
Right.
None of my stuff was there. It was stuff that I bought her.
Wow.
So she said, "You're not taking my stuff." You said, I said, "You're right. I'm
Yeah.
not taking your stuff." Threw all her fucking shoes that I bought out the window. What's up? 17 flights.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
was
it didn't hit
saying.
anybody.
What floor was it on?
17.
One of them
I'm
people that
proud
got
of your petty
hit.
level.
One of them
I'm
people
proud
that got hit. Karma is gonna be watching this like this fucking.
If it was a Jordan 13, I'm sorry, bro. It's not personal, my nigga.
You gonna be on
Sorry.
the
Nigga
comments.
said it wasn't meant for
If you ever got hit with a random Jordan 13,
watch him type in the comments. Nah, I get it, bro.
somebody had to say
So you stood up for yourself. Damn right.
Yeah.
I'll take that hit for you, bro.
Look,
Y'all need to have an episode on healthy relationships. Y'all
Oh.
wildin' like
no, we do. We really do, though.
that's not healthy.
Not at all. And then the second worst one, I actually hate to talk about this one.
That's the juice.
This is your idea. What are you talking about? You can't hate to talk about
You
it.
said it's your idea, but it's right.
All right, it was a breakup. How can I say this? Fuck. We both got played in a situation. How about that?
By each other?
No, by somebody else.
Okay.
Somebody else played both of us.
Damn,
And,
threesome.
Sounds
How
familiar.
the fuck does this
and
happen?
hold on, I'm explaining.
Sounds familiar.
We
Wow.
both got played. And
Some Othello shit.
you know, I didn't have enough time for her. So she broke up with me after I bought her a gift, right? Took the gift back, no problem. You know, I learned my lesson. Keep receipts, guys. But
That's a
took the gift back.
Right.
You know, a couple months later, the situation that happened where we both got played, it kicked back on her. She calls me randomly. I deleted the number. She's like, D, I'm gonna fucking murder you. I'm sleep knocked out. I'm like,
Wow.
mind you, because I'm a retarded ass nigga, I'm like, who is this? not a drop of fear in my heart. I'm like, who is this?
Right.
I'm like, hello? She's like, I'm going to murder you. I'm like, chopped it up.
That's good.
Right? Now, good part about this is that it ended up, you know, having a little makeup sex in a random spot, which I don't know about y'all. I love random sex. Like
Random sex or random
Spontaneous
spots?
like
sex.
spontaneous spots,
Yeah,
like
like-
spontaneous random spots. Best sex ever. I don't know. Maybe it's the excitement of getting caught. Maybe that gets me.
But then also it's just like, oh, you want me? Oh, you want me now?
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
you
right
know?
here.
Yeah.
Like right here in the laundry bag. Okay. All right.
Live. Like,
You got
great
nasty,
colors.
nasty.
Stop getting excited.
Hey, calm down.
That makes sense.
So.
Oh, shut up.
Oh
Like,
my
this
God.
is amazing. Shut up.
So that was the two worst breakups for me. Gentlemen,
And ladies,
Lady.
I don't really have bad. Like all of my breakups.
stop it, bro.
We just stopped talking to each other.
Your last one?
But my last one, some bullshit happened. We were already broken up. Like the breakup happened prior.
K.
Am I wrong?
K.
I think you are.
He is wrong.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Alright. The girl I had before my current girlfriend,
Oh, dear.
she came to my job because some other bullshit that happened that had nothing to do with me. She saw me talking to a girl that ended up actually being my girlfriend. We weren't together at the time. And we broke up because she just kept accusing me of cheating and shit. Am I wrong so far?
No.
Which part am I wrong?
I'm gonna say it like this.
Because you're making it fit. Which
You're
part am
on-
I wrong?
you're on a
It's not that you're
line.
wrong.
Yeah,
You're telling the story from a certain point of view, and it's just like it's a little deeper than that.
I'm gonna say it like this. You're jumping ahead a little bit.
What part did I skip over?
Like you said, we weren't.
We weren't together yet.
Yeah, you weren't together yet.
You weren't. Okay, so where's he wrong at?
But you're
Yeah,
not saying.
lust.
Kay knows what it is, and you know what it is.
you
What?
you were towing the line.
Yeah, like
And-
that's what I
and-
said.
and
You were
we're-
on
I
the
was
line.
okay. I was very friendly with this girl.
Okay, so you were
That's
friendly.
That's a
You
nice way to
friendly.
put it. That's a great way to put it.
What are you doing?
Checking the time.
Okay, well, we had not done anything together yet.
That's fair.
But it wasn't just this girl. She was consistently accusing me of being with every girl that she would see me around. So I got tired of it,
Insecurity.
and we broke up. A week or two after that, she ran into us together on my block.
Wow.
And at that point, I was with that girl.
There we go.
But we were already broken up before that.
Yeah.
And then when she questioned me about that, I wasn't responding to her messages. So that's not a bad breakup. The breakup wasn't bad.
You
That
know
was just
what?
what happened after.
You're the person telling the story, so I'm gonna let you say how you want to say it. But I'm just saying, there could have been a way more entertaining version of that story because there was some shit going on.
My cup is done.
There were things leading up to it, the things that happened after. You could have made it a little more entertaining. That's all I'm saying.
I'm honestly lost. I don't know what happened after.
It's okay. It was a long time.
You can tell the story for me.
I don't want to be the one to do
He has
it.
his own story to tell.
I do have my own story to tell.
Speaking of which, or shall I go next?
Well, I guess that was my worst breakup.
I mean,
You basically did the same shit. You did it worse.
Oh, I did. Definitely.
Wait, no, which time?
But I quit too, so we all fucked
He
up.
had joints crying on the floor, talking about their hearts was about to explode.
Oh no!
That shit was bad. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
Oh no!
What was that?
I feel bad.
That
for
shit.
that.
I just
I
felt
don't
bad,
even
but it's
remember
not
that
funny.
shit.
Look, man.
Oh.
My breakups
each
weren't
other
that
ears
bad.
like middle school.
We had you.
Most of my
Oh,
breakups
shit.
was just us
Yeah,
not
that's
talking
not
to
even
each
the
other
bad. That's not
anymore.
even the one I was going to talk about.
Oh, the Tokyo shit? Me?
I was gonna say the time where, she my girlfriend at the time got a
Yeah,
message
shit.
from this other girl
No, but it's
Saying-
like usually like shit.
saying, that I basically fucked her and she was like, "Did you actually fuck this girl?" I'm like, "Ah, shit."
When you respond to oh shit,
Right.
god damn,
I was like, "How did you know?" And she sent me
Oh,
the
how did you
screenshots
how did you know?
of this girl telling
You
her
was
that she
savage.
fucked me. I was sabotaged.
Wait,
but, I mean,
so
shit.
what you're
You
saying
gave
is-
yourself up, like
I didn't give myself up.
you was like, oh, okay.
No, I didn't say all shit to her. Like I got the message, I'm like, ah, shit. Like, how the fuck she know?
The name of this episode is now ah shit.
Right.
It's either ah shit or how did you know? Because that's fucking great.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
So she was like, yeah, I have the proof right here. I was like, nah, it wasn't me. And then she's like,
Said, but that's you.
That's a whole
That's your-
That's a whole
And then-
shit.
That's you hitting it from the back right there.
I
and then she said the
I did
screenshot.
that.
She's like, you're wearing hers. I was
Yo,
like,
she
ah.
tagged.
Oh shit.
That's what that sounds like.
I was like, at that point, I knew I was had. There's no right
I knew I
way.
was had.
Oh man.
I guess the second worst, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say that every breakup's a bad breakup when you're dealing with someone who is emotionally ready to feel the extremes of the emotions.
I think that's what it is. I don't really have bad breakups because I ain't feel that much.
What?
So basically, I'm
Slow that
saying
down, slow that down.
Like,
I knew what he meant.
Yeah.
someone.
I never cared at that point, so the breakups weren't that hard for me.
So
Yeah,
like breakups aren't that hard, but also the person on the other end, if they're ready, or if they're like very emotional and like they feel things very heavily, of course they're gonna end up on the floor crying. They're not gonna end up on the floor crying if you say you don't like them anymore, not if you broke up with someone, but they're just emotional like that. So it's hard to say it's a horrible breakup if the person's emotional already.
When you hear the huff, you already know whose turn is next.
It's time.
So without further ado.
ooh, stop.
Oh, wait. Damn, I wish I had some more sangria for this one.
Patreon K, let's get it.
Patreon, yeah.
You're
The
in a-
silence
You're in a
is
bad
definitely-
spot.
Two sides.
The
You're in a
silence
bad
is
spot right now. Power out the K, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
My worst breakup was with my girlfriend in college. It is my fault.
Can I just,
Oh.
before you
You
start,
think that's your worst breakup?
Yeah.
Really?
Me too.
Yeah.
that is interesting.
Really?
We're going to get back to that because I want to know what you think his worst breakup is. But before that, I would like
That's
to
how long
point
y'all
out,
know y'all been
no
friends for like a minute.
disrespect.
I don't know.
No disrespect to the girl that he's about to talk about. But I am so appreciative of your savage level. I just want to point that out. No, because I'll put it like this. We always say
Wait.
that when we do something,
Mm-hmm.
we kill that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You killed this shit. Go on.
Yes.
Again, I actually like the girl that he's about to talk about. She was cool. No disrespect to you. But sometimes you just gotta, when the savage level is just, you just gotta,
I'm really feeling the whole like appreciation for Women's History Month by talking about y'all dogs abuse. Women's History Month. But you know, we're going into Women's History Month by remembering that men ain't shit. Thank you, ladies.
Chill, relax.
But we're trying, okay?
However, he actually is shit.
Yeah.
This was a mistake he made.
We are trying.
So funny enough, because it's all connected. This is my second biggest regret. If I had to make a list, I wasn't ready to talk about it, but this is my second biggest regret. So I cheated on my girlfriend.
Oh, I know who that is.
And
just his face.
And it was with a person that we both knew. I'm not gonna go into crazy details because honestly,
see, I want just like more entertaining way for you to tell the story.
I know, but it's only because
but his is
but it's only because it's actually still hard to like talk about it.
I understand
because it's like I have to remind myself of the fucked up shit I did. So it's like to talk about it is like goddamn. But basically the timing of how I did everything was real fucked up, and I told her, and
on her birthday.
Well,
2 days after her birthday.
Doesn't matter, still bad.
But
bad
for like saying something, yes, bad timing.
Most people. I had a real big attack of conscience, and it was just like I feel like I have to, and it was worse because they were living together at the time, so it was crazy. But
you're talking about
the So I told her, and then the argument we had that day, when I cried, when she cried, it was like she cursed at me. She says things to me I never would have thought she would have said. The way she looked at me was like, and the pain that I put her through was really, really crazy. And the next 2-3 days I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, like
he was going through
and,
he was going through
I was bugging. I didn't,
he was going through it for a while,
and I talked to my parents about it. I saw a therapist for a little while.
Really?
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I went to a therapist for a little while, and
also I want to say something real quick though, like, you know, I'm pretty sure like people will watch this and you're gonna have a lot of like people who are like toxically masculine that's gonna be like, oh, you a simp, like you went to fucking therapy, like it's just a bitch, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But it's like that just goes to show like you actually had.
This is why I said he's actually not.
Yeah, he's
not
right.
Very nice guy. He's actually shit.
Like when you don't actually care about a person and then go through it like that. You know what I mean? Like it definitely shows something of your character.
Because it's like, and the thing is, that day we didn't break up. So it was like we were trying to fix it, but then it was like every phone conversation we would have whenever we were good, it was like, can't pretend like we didn't just go through the shit that we just went through.
Right.
And her voice would change on the phone, like the silence used to be like, we used to have those moments where even when we weren't talking, we were still good because it was like, I just know she's there, she knows I'm there. We'd be on the phone just chilling. But then now it's like when it's silent, it's like, oh shit, like what is she thinking about? What am I thinking about? And I could just feel the change. She didn't even have to talk, I could just feel it. And like in the same conversation, in the beginning we could be good, and then 20 minutes later she's cursing me out again, saying whatever. And in my heart I felt I had a responsibility and obligation to just take those hits from her, because I don't want to hear somebody telling me that I ain't shit, that telling me that I'm, fucked up, telling me how much I hurt her. And it's like, I already know it. You can't beat me up any more than I'm beating myself up about it. But it was like I had to let her vent. And I had to let her let it out. And it was just like, it was damaging, like psychologically to me. Because looking back on it, we should have just stayed away from each other. I should have gave her space to figure it out on her own. But I didn't. I let her call me. I let her get on me. I let her like beat on me about it. And it was just like, wow. And then we still weren't broke up. And then it was like, all right, we doing the taking a break thing. And then it was like she wanted to see other people, and we would argue back and forth about whether we wanted to be together or not. And then it was like, when we finally did break up, it was like, damn. Like, and then even when we did, it was like, I don't feel no, you know? Because at first it was like, all right, cool. Now I don't have to hear her calling me, getting on my case anymore. But it's like, I'm still not with her. And that was the thing. It was like, when I did what I did, it was like, I never wanted to not be with her. So the fact that I did all of that, and then all the things that I did to fix it, just to lose her anyway, it was like, damn. And then we got back together, and then broke up again, because it was like, she hadn't healed. And that's why I count it all as one thing. Because even though we broke up and got back together, even the second relationship, it was like, we were trapped by what happened before. And I wanted to believe that, like, the second relationship, we'd get it right. Because I knew I wasn't going to fuck up no more. And it was like, all right, if she forgave me, it's cool. But I knew she wasn't ready. I knew she wasn't healed. I knew she still had things to go through. And I didn't have the maturity or the sense to be like, let me cut the cord this time. Let me say, we can't be together. Because I wanted it to work. So I wanted to be like, all right, even though I know it's not the right time, or I know it's not going to work, hopefully I'm wrong. And that was like the mindset. But then 2 months later, she calls me and it's just like, yeah, I'm going through this. It's not working. I'm still hurt. It's something I need to do for me. You know, and the crazy thing is, like, we're still friends to this day. Like, we still, you know, we've moved past it to a point now, but it's just like, after all of that, it's still like, damn. And the reason why that's my worst breakup, the reason why that's my second biggest regret is because it's like, you know, when you break up with somebody, even when you cheat sometimes, it's like, yeah, we broke up, but that was my girl. It was like, she was in my life, now she's not. She's just another girl. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't just a girl I was dating. This was like my best friend. So it's deeper than just I cheated on my girl. It's deeper than we broke up. It's like, I betrayed my best friend, and because of that, even if we're friends now, our friendship is never going to be the same. And I know that. And it's like, I have to live with that. Whether we never talk again or whether we're friends, it's like, I have to live with the fact that we could have been anything. Even if we would have ended up breaking up without me cheating. We'll never know how long we could have stayed together. But we'll never know because I fucked it up. That's why it's my worst breakup.
It was a bad breakup.
Yeah.
He was going through it for a while.
Yeah.
Again,
I haven't
the girl
talked
was
about it
actually
in a
really,
long
really
time.
cool. The girl was really, really cool. No shots to her, but she was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that he did it the way he did it that when I heard about what he did, I was like, you did that shit?
Yeah. It's like,
I was like,
it was so,
everybody was shocked.
it was so out of character.
I was like, nigga, that's why I said savage level was crazy because it was him though. It was like,
But also another thing I think that's crazy is the fact that like growing up, being that we lived under the same roof with the same mom, like that was also a staple in our life, like hearing about our mother getting cheated on, and how deeply it affected her, because that was somebody who was like, she considered her soulmate, and she was very extremely serious about and everything like that. She saw a future with, and the way that he betrayed her, not once, like, you know, but having that also be a staple, I'm sure, is something that, you know, affected you on top of that, because you never wanted to be that.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure that made telling mom that much more harder, because, like, you know, her looking at you like what, you know.
Yeah. That was
I didn't tell my mom personally.
that was the hardest part of like telling my mom about it, because it was like, all right, now she's gonna look at me and be like, wow.
Yeah, I feel you on that, because if it was me, I probably wouldn't have told her either, because, you know,
I didn't tell my mom.
it's like I tried to raise y'all right, you telling me you did the exact fucking thing, like, yeah, it's just crazy. So,
it's your turn.
Your last but not least,
yeah.
what you got for us? Any gold?
Yeah, of course. So,
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
I was like,
It's cool.
whole married, or
Right.
whatever, and
Can't forget that.
at 23, I'm 27 now.
Very young.
But you see, that's the thing about it. It's just like I was with that person for like 8 years.
That was,
Yeah, before that or whatever. And It's like you would think after 8 years you really know someone, you know, obviously or whatever. And
well, you don't know them until you live with them. That's what everybody says.
that's true, but at the same time, it's just like it's 8 years that you get to spend with someone, and it's not like it's just some high and by type shit or whatever. Like you sneaking around to see this person like every fucking day, like to get like real hours in and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it's like I went against a lot of things that I believed in, like, you know, sneaking them into the house and, like, all this other stuff or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Like, like, you know what? And then it's just like, okay, so we're married now or whatever. And then year into our marriage, I hear the only reason why I married you is because I didn't want anybody else to be with you or whatever.
Well,
and
it's a compliment. That's weird.
That's
it wasn't like said as like a compliment, and that was kind of the start of things, of opening up to like, oh, this person is not what I thought they were, and
that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, and like going through pain, and I'm somebody that suffers from depression and anxiety, and this person would never look up like what that meant or whatever to try and help me through it. So when my episodes would get bad, they would, you know, end up like kind of making it worse, and I would tell them, you know, you should try to look it up on your own too, because I can only explain but so much.
Yeah.
But even still, it was like ignored or whatever. You know, I love gaming, I love anime, all that nerd shit, whatever. But to be like left in a room while I'm suffering physically, while, you know, your other is gaming and they don't have time for you because it's like, is it still recording?
I think.
Oh.
Just keep going.
Yeah, but they don't.
Just keep going.
It just says the battery's low.
Yeah, it's going. It's going.
But they don't have saying they don't have like time for you because like they're in a dungeon right now. But like, you know, you're in like physical pain and shit like that from what you're going through. I mean, it was a lot that was just like fucked up, and also to come to like trying to finally express that to this person, and then they're just like making it seem like it's not that bad. You know, and you can be with certain people that make you feel like you're fucking crazy because you know the shit is wrong, but then they make you seem like nah, it's like it's not that bad. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know. But anyway, that was the worst because it was like I thought I was like really in love with someone. Then falling out of love with them was hard. I was very scared to leave them. You know, and come back home with my family. I was very scared of opening up to my family and telling them every detail that I won't go into now, but, you know, of what happened and why it was so painful. And it was definitely a journey, but I made it.
Yes.
And yeah. Yup.
Sounds like me.
What? Why does it sound like you?
The guy.
The guy.
You went through a journey.
You're possessive?
You're similar to him?
No, I'm not as bad, but like I'll do stuff like
masculinity at its finest.
My God.
Being like neglectful?
I'm not neglectful, kinda ish, but like
I think all guys are a little neglectful.
I feel like it's hard for me because like sometimes like
Women are too.
like you guys live together, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm 3 hours away from my girl, so sometimes I'm like she's not always at like the forefront of my mind, but she does deal with like depression and stuff like that. So like I feel like I'm neglectful in that regards.
Yeah,
sometimes.
because it's like it's kind of a thing. Even if it's, I'll say this, even if she's in one of her modes where it's just like she can't deal with anything right now, and it's kind of like she wants to kind of shut the world out. If she's accepting of you like being there for her in any kind of way, you can call her, be silent on the phone. You can be doing your thing, check up on her, like, babe, like, you okay? Do you feel like talking right now? Do you not? That kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to baby her through it, but showing somebody that goes through that kind of stuff that like you are there and you do give a fuck about them and what they're going through, yeah, because like that type of stuff leads to suicide. I used to cut, you know, and he came home one day and like I was bleeding out pretty bad and everything like that, but it was like that was my escape, you know, going through physical pain, you know, and he didn't know what to do. But did he stop it? No. It was more like the verbal abuse came in. Like, you're fucking crazy. Like, why would you fucking do that? Like,
I wouldn't. I'm not.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like.
No, but that never helps. You know.
Yeah.
That's like pouring lemon juice on a fresh cut. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's not gonna help. So.
But yeah, that's why it was the worst.
Well. That's this episode, I guess.
Oh, you was gonna say current relationship. I'm in a great relationship.
No. We'll get to that. We'll get to that on the next episode.
Oh,
yeah, I think
balls.
everybody.
Yeah.
feel me? Especially this young man right here. Oh yeah, we gotta catch up on. We gotta catch up on the new, nice potential young.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard all the way
of
about
yours.
that.
You
I
feel
haven't
me?
heard about that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Wow.
Next episode, we'll be back.
Slipping without.
Stop it.